hope everything works. I had to do a bit of a test with my live stream, but hey guys, welcome to Info Abroad. Lucian here, and as announced a few weeks back, I think it's just very important that when I talk about editing and training, I really just want to talk about editing and the trainings. So today is going to be a very first quick chapter. It's nothing too complicated. It's something that is just a little bit of a discipline training. And I hope it is very simple to understand. A quick update as well regarding these training sessions. We're going to be working on one video together to basically show the different steps that I take to edit a certain clip, because I think it can help you very much with making content. You know, you don't have to be super duper with all your software when making videos, because I think it doesn't benefit anyone, you know, because you're not only going to try and impress yourself, you also need to impress other people. And what I learned over the last 5 years is that it's just very important that when you edit, you make things unique, you make things your own baby, because people can see that, people can enjoy it much more. And I think that's really the key of it. You know, you just don't want to make content for content. You want to make content because you want to make the most out of it. So what's the first thing I wanted to talk about is I'm going to show you how to set up your files before even you open up your software accordingly, because when you edit your videos, there's nothing nicer than having a clear mind and having a stress-free moment, meaning everything is already prepared and all you have to do is click and drag. That's all you have to do. And of course you have to do the cutting, adding the music and all the small details later, but that doesn't really matter that much. That is not that is the simple part, I think. I think everything prior to actually opening up your software for editing, whether it is Premiere, DaVinci or HitFilm or Sony Vegas, any software, I think the key is just making it as easy as possible for yourself. And to make it sound as simple as possible, because this is a very short clip, a very short live stream, let's just jump right into it, because there's nothing easier than just displaying it. So the way how I do it when I work with different softwares and when I work with different clients, I basically have a file which I have open right here. And as you can see, I have 3 different phases. The reason why I have these 3 different phases is because I want to display to you guys the effect of just organizing your storytelling of a video, because without storytelling it might be a little confusing for people to understand what you're actually doing. If you don't have a build-up and you don't have a climax and you don't have a outro, people are going to be like, huh, what did I just watch? Do I want to watch that again? Like someone who just quits a video? Because all that you need is just to follow a certain pattern that you stay true to. And if you don't, like I say, whether it's people on YouTube or it is your client, they're going to get confused, and you don't want that, because they're not going to ask you again to make a video. So I always have normally 3 phases. It can also be a few more depending on the size and the scope of the project, but to make it as simple as possible for you guys who are only just starting out with editing, let's just start with 3. So phase 1 for me is normally the intro. This is the moment there where you introduce the project, the clip, the content to your viewers. This is where you also ask yourself all the questions on where am I, what is going to happen, and what is the goal of today. And this can be as short as maybe 5 seconds, or it can even be an entire minute. Now, phase 2 is actually the most important part as well, because without phase 2, you just don't have a video. This is where you show all the glory of your all the glory of your content. This is the moment where you want to showcase everything you worked for, all your storytelling techniques, all the notes you have written down, all the everything you filmed that you think is showable to someone. You really want to highlight this, because this is going to push things to, well, for you to the next level. This is the moment where people are actually entertained by your video. People already now know, thanks to phase 1, what they are doing, but with phase 2 they get all the extra informations. And I think this is something that is really fun. This is the hardest part to work on, but it can also be the most easiest, depending of course on the product or the video you're working on. Phase 3 is the outro. This is normally the easiest part, and it's also not very much the most important, because all you do is you just slowly need to find a way to close down your video. Of course, it takes a bit of time. It takes a little bit of tweaking for you to understand what you're doing. But once you're there, you can understand what you're doing. And to make this sound much more complicated than what it is, I think I put it in phase 1. So when you start a project, whether it is a teaching program, whether you want to display a new car, the bigger the project, the more complex it is, the bigger the tree of files are going to be. And the bigger the tree it's going to be, the easier it is for you to capture back, where can I get my different video files from? So phase 1, okay, I am going to work with, I have a person here, I have a car shot there, and I have a nature shot of some sort. It doesn't really matter. This is all just for displaying. That's nothing, the whole empty files, of course, but it's really just to demonstrate to you guys how easy it will be. Okay, so I'm in phase 1. I want to start off my video with, I don't know, a car shot. So I'm going to go into car shot. Then I want to say, do I really want to start with a driving experience? Do I want to start with the exterior, the interior? Do I want to give everything away at the beginning or not? Or do I want to really just show the bits and pieces of the interior? And boom, now you're in all your interior footage, and that's it. That's all you have to do. And thanks to that system, it allows you basically to ask yourself, where am I going to be next, and where do I get my footage from quickly without a headache? There's nothing worse than working on a project and you don't know where to get your footage from. I remember when I was starting out, I was working on a project. I think it had like 80 clips. It was a project for Mercedes, one of my first projects. And there was nothing worse than the question, oh, I remember filming it, but where is it? And there's nothing more time consuming than going through all of your footage again to find a clip that you really don't remember where it is. And this just helps. If you can sort things like this, it's fantastic. It really helps a lot with you. And it also helps a lot with the storytelling, because it gives you just the peace of mind where you can say, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? I know exactly where my content is, and I can quickly click and drop. I can click and drop my files directly onto Premiere or any of my timelines, because it really just makes a big difference. So I'm a kind of person who also enjoys very much to work with Premiere. I think Premiere is one of my preferred programs. I enjoy it just because it's actually just fun. It's actually, it has a really well built up system for me that makes sense to me. And it has a lot of features. Of course, my camera is on it. Can I drag this to the other side? Oh, it's a bit bugged at the moment, I think, as well. Let's have a look. Let's just click the effect controls here. So here we have some effect controls, and as you can see, it has a lot of numbers, but don't be afraid. Or this, what is it? What does it do? Don't be afraid, just don't play with it. These are all small indications that allow you to see whether your clips are good or not, and they make sense for you to edit. Let me quickly drag this back again, because that's not normally where I have it. Let's put it here. Nonetheless, I was working on a project in Sweden, and this is what I want to showcase to you guys the most before I end the stream. By working hard enough and having fun while editing, one day you might be invited to go to a different client to maybe shoot fantastic people, fantastic products. And let me just play the video in the background so you guys can kind of see on what project I was working. And while I'm going through the video, I'm going to pause it at random times so you can basically see what I mean with intro, the middle point, and outro. Okay, and I just want to show to you how quick an intro can be, and also how long the climax can be, and of course how quick the outro can be. And you'll just see it like this. So let's just start with the video. That was the intro. Nothing more, nothing less. All you heard was a car. You see a lot of ice, you see a lot of snow, and you see the word Sweden. I don't want to display anymore. Why? Because I think that's enough for people to see what's going to happen. Of course, the next shot already leads into something like this, where you have a character here walking to a car. I have it kind of blurred out. I have a bit of bokeh there, for example. So you can, if you know the car, great. If you don't, you're really curious what it is, because it's not sharp. You're really just focusing on the character. You're also focusing on the brand. You want to focus a little bit more on the smaller details that are also important for the video. So this is a video for AMG. Focus on AMG. The cars are important, but not as important as the logo. The logo says everything. So everything from what you just saw from there till this one moment is actually my second intro. Why do I have a second intro? Because I wanted to basically build up some tension. I thought the first part is really just an introduction to where the location is, but now it's just an introduction to say, oh, we see helmets, we see cars, we see people speaking German, AMG, Mercedes, it's a German brand, and it could be kind of cool to see what's coming next. And now from this moment on, you just have a massive quick climax. Again, this video isn't long, it's just quickly supposed to display the entire event within a certain amount of time. And yeah, action. Also super cool to capture here some inside shots of the car. Interior shots I think are always cool. It shows a lot on what's happening with a vehicle, especially here. You see how modern these cars have become, and it's just fantastic. To work with such a product, it's really worth it, and I can only recommend this more and more to people. And again, this is all thanks to that structure that I introduced at the very beginning of the stream. File your videos accordingly, and it just allows you to have a much smoother transaction when you're working on a product. This one particular shot, that's the outro. There is nothing more to it. The video just finishes there. And this is what I think is great. If you just follow these real basic steps, even you can move forward with editing. You might think today, oh, I don't have the equipment, I don't have a microphone. Look, like I said in one of my videos already, I started with a phone. I started just with understanding what a video is. I wanted to understand what 30 FPS is, 24 FPS, 60 FPS, what's the big difference? And after a while, you really just get a bit of a hang of it, and you really understand, while editing, also what you need for videographing. What do I need to create the content? What cameras do I want to pick up? Do I need to install more cameras next time? You really learn these things just by playing around with editing, and also vice versa. If you understand how you film, then you also exactly know what you need for editing, because if you don't have the shots, well, then you don't really have a good video to edit, and that's a bit of a shame. And that's also where I want to kind of end the live stream. It has been very short, but I want to make these just small series, because if they're not small, it doesn't really benefit anyone. And I wanted to make it as simple as possible, idiot-proof as possible. And that's really it. And next week, we're going to talk just about cutting. On Premiere, you have something called ripple deleting, or just deleting content. And see how you're going to fit different clips where, and what are the things you need to watch out for when editing, and which things you don't have to watch out. So if you did enjoy this clip, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like below. Again, these series are really meant for beginners and not for people who already are editing, because if you already know what editing is, it's not really that important to you. But I had enough of people who came to me and asked, hey, please do that for me. And it would also be cool if you guys come in for the times. If you want to have a quick bit of interaction, the video will get longer and longer as well, and I can explain things on the go and give better examples based on what you know as knowledge. So thank you very much for watching. If you, like I already said, if you did like the video, just leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. And for now, I don't have an outro screen yet, but I'm going to be working on it for next week. For now, thank you very much again, and see you on Thursday, live at, I think I'm going to do it 2 o'clock German time. So GMT +1. Thank you very much, and see you then, guys.